morning everyone, it's Tuesday 12th May 2020. Year 2 Maths, fractions to find 3/4. Right, pause the video and make sure you have your workbook and a pencil. Please download the worksheet from class charts or email which says fractions find 3/4. Please write the short date at the top of the page, 12.5.20. Please write the LI to find 3/4. Once you have finished your work, please send a photo of your work at year2@grange.harrow.sch.uk. Right, let's recap before we look at finding 3/4. Let's see what we have learnt so far, or what do we know so far. So this is what one whole looks like, a half, a quarter, a third, 2/4. This is also known as a half, or it is equivalent to a half. Right, let's look at the knowledge organizer. Let's look at this part here, and it's explaining to us what is a numerator and a denominator. So a numerator is how many equal parts of the whole, in this case the circle is a whole, are needed or shaded, and the denominator is how many equal parts are in the whole. So it's all best to look at the denominator first so we can know what the denominator is. So in this case there are 4 equal parts, 1, 2, 3, 4. So the denominator is 4, and you can see that 3 of them have been shaded in. So that is the numerator 3, and this is how we write 3/4. Let's look at the key vocabulary first. Please repeat after me. Whole, equal parts, denominator, numerator, 1/4, 2/4, 3/4, and fractions. Right, we are going to look at the video which is part of the white row scheme that the school follow. So please pause here and make sure you have downloaded the worksheet from either class charts or email, as the video is going to ask you to complete some questions. This is what the worksheet looks like.
Finding 3/4 today, but first our flashback for a couple of nice fractions questions at the top there, and then our questions from last term. Now, question number 4, I'd be thinking about what I know about my 5 times table, and then don't forget to have a go at the clock. Would you like to pause the video here and have a go at those questions? How did you get on? So the first one, 4 equal parts, and one of those parts is chocolate, so 1/4. Second one, we're thinking about equal parts again. Now that second one doesn't have equal parts, so that can't be a third. And the final one has 4 equal parts, so it's not thirds if it's 4 equal parts. So that leaves those other 2, and they've got 1 shaded out of the 3 equal parts. Doesn't matter which one is shaded, still 1/3. How many faces does a cuboid have? A cuboid is very similar to a die or a dice that you might have at home, and we know they've got 6 faces. A cuboid is kind of like a longer version of a die, and they've got 6 faces too. What is 45 divided by 5? I would probably count up in my 5s. There's quite a lot of 5s, but I'd be thinking that I know 10 times 5 is 50, so therefore 9 times 5 is 45. And there's a relationship there between 9 times 5 being 45 and 45 divided by 5 being 9. And then the clock. I want to say 6:30, but that's wrong, isn't it? It's 6:30 and the hour hand has gone past the 7. So it's 7:30 or 7:30. So, finding 3/4. Here we have a square that has been divided into 4 equal parts, and none of the parts have been shaded. So that's no quarters. Then we have 1 quarter. We have 2 quarters. We have 3 quarters. And we have 4 quarters. It doesn't matter which ones have been shaded in, because they're equal parts. Now, we have a road, and Jack is on that road. It's okay, because there's no cars on the road today. His ball is somewhere on the road. Where's your ball, Jack? There it is. Must have kicked it very high. How far along the road is Jack's ball, do you think? I think it's 1 quarter of the way along, 2 quarters of the way along, 3 quarters of the way along, or 4 quarters the whole way along. Let's have a look when Jack goes and gets his ball. Off he goes. 1 quarter, 2 quarters. He's got it at 3 quarters, and he's kicked it. Good kick, Jack. It was 3 quarters of the way along. Pause here. Have a go at questions 1, 2, and 3. So what does 3 quarters really mean? We've seen how much of a shape has been shaded in, and we've seen how far along a journey, or how far along a road somebody is. What do these figures actually mean? We've got our denominator, which tells us how many equal parts, and our numerator, which tells us how many of those equal parts we are using. So here's my array made out of Lego. You might like to make yourself an array made out of Lego or out of something else, doesn't matter. And what I'm looking for is, can I see 4 equal parts? And in this array, I can. I can see 1, 2, 3, 4 equal parts. And this time, I'm interested in 3 out of those 4 equal parts. 3 quarters. And I'm not interested in 1 quarter. Another array. You might be making arrays like this at school or at home. This one's a tricky array because I can't see 4 equal parts. So what am I going to do? Well, one thing I can do is make groups of 4. So I'm going to put a line around a group of 4 pieces of Lego. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then I'm not interested in all 4 of them. I'm only interested in 3. So I'm going to put a red marker over one of them. And I'm going to make another group of 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And remember, I'm not interested in all 4. I'm only interested in 3. So I'm going to get rid of that red one. And then here's my final group of 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And remember, I need to get rid of one of them. So now I've made groups of 4, and I've identified the 3 out of the 4 that I'm interested in. They're not in an array this time. The pieces of Lego have been scattered. And again, I can't see 4 equal parts. So I'm going to make groups of 4 again. Here's my first group. And remember, I'm only interested in 3 of them, so I don't need that one. Here's another group of 4. I'm only interested in 3, so I don't need that one. Here's my other group of 4. I'm only interested in 3, so I don't need that one. So from my 12 pieces of Lego, 3 quarters of them, if I count up those pink ones, I've got 3 and 3 and 3, which is 9. So 9 is equal to 3 quarters of 12. Here is a nice array. Now I can see lots of 4s in there. Groups of 4s and 4 equal parts. I'm going to choose these 3. And then this is my 4th equal part. And I'm not going to use the red ones. 16 pieces of Lego altogether there. You might like to get 16 counters or 16 pieces of Lego or 16 anything. And then we just want to put them into 4 equal groups or groups of 4. And then we want 3 out of those equal groups or 3 out of your group of 4. Let's have a go at that. Now you can pause the video here and have a go at question 4. Whitney would like to buy some fish, some goldfish by the looks of things. Here are all the fish that are in the shop. Whitney would like to buy all the fish that's in the shop. However, the shopkeeper said he'd like to keep some of the fish for other people to buy. That's kind, isn't it? Whitney has negotiated with the shopkeeper, and they've decided that she can buy 3/4 of the fish. So what Whitney does, she tries to group the fish into 4s, and then she's going to take 3 out of 4 fish, because that's 3/4, isn't it? But it's not going very well for Whitney. She can't get the ones she wants. Is there an easier way to find 3/4 of these fish? Yes, I agree. We can see 4 equal parts there, 4 equal tanks. Why doesn't Whitney just take 3 out of the 4 equal tanks? I wonder how many fish that would be. Let's put it into a bar model to see. There are 20 fish altogether. Let's put the fish into the bar model. In that first fish tank, I can see 5 fish. And because we've got 4 equal parts, I know the other tanks must also have 5 fish in. What I'd like to know is how many fish Whitney is going to take when she has 3/4 of the fish. What calculation do I need to do to find 3/4 of 20? Yes, there's 2. I could do 5 and 5 and 5. That would give me 15. Or I could do 3 times 5, or 3 lots of 5, which is also 15. Is that what you thought? Pause here and have a go at questions 5 to 9.
Once you have finished your work, please send a photo of your work at go to @grange.harrow.sch.uk. Thank you.